Talk to me nice.
All right, baby.
Talk to me honestly.
Good morning.
Look in my eyes. Don't let it fall
Good morning.
on me. Say you a
We're
good guy.
fussing this morning.
Make me believe it. Don't wanna hear it. I wanna
Okay.
see it. See how.
I think we need to pull this
Rewind. When we rewind, feels so nice. We time. You, I know how to make me feel.
You're in the green room. Can you hear me?
Can't help how this sweet
Dance. Hey.
I'm already on my way. I'm pulling up, don't be late. I'm cutting through all the lanes. Sweet talk. You can say let's convey. No need for no flowers.
Hey, girl.
Hi.
How you doing? Hold on. Why is it? I gotta change this. We're still working here, guys. Hang in there.
Talk to me nice. Talk to me honestly.
We play this every
Look in
Saturday
my
morning.
eyes. Don't let it fall on me. Say you a good guy.
Oh,
Make
you
me
look
believe it.
beautiful.
Don't wanna hear
Thank
it.
you. So do you, as usual.
See how. Rewind.
I'm gonna go ahead and mute you. You don't have to worry about it, okay?
Feels so nice. We time. You
There might be a bit of a delay on my end, probably because of my signal.
I can't help how this sweet talk. I'm already on my way. I'm
Should I put on headphones?
I'm cutting through all the lanes.
Oh, okay. I don't have any.
You don't have to.
You sure?
It's fine. I can hear you great.
Okay.
Why you blushing? Give your sweet concussion. Oh, you is my touching. Good do. Show me something. Give me more than one thing. I need more than less than.
What's the pixelation? Is that on that jacket side?
Don't wanna hear it. I wanna see it.
That's Jackie. Okay.
When we rewind, it feels so nice. I can't help how this sweet talk. I'm already on my way. I'm pulling up, don't be late. I'm cutting through all the lanes. Sweet talk. You don't need to say let's convey. No need for no flowers, babe. I'm already on my way. We've been dancing all night long.
Do you have like some questions for Jackie? Some specific questions, or is it gonna be free flow?
Don't want nothing here or now.
Like free flow?
But I'm done waiting, down wasting my time. Sweet talk, I'm already on
Didn't y'all talk about
pulling up, don't be late.
how you were gonna be
Talk to me nice, talk to me honestly. Look in my eyes, don't let it fall on me. Say you're a good guy, make me believe it. Don't wanna hear it, I wanna see it. See how rewind, when we rewind, it feels so nice. We time, you I know how to make me feel right. I can't help how this sweet talk. I'm already on my way. I'm pulling up, don't be late.
Okay, now your audio went away. Can you hear me?
Sweet talk, you need to say
I lost you guys. Can you? Uh-oh.
flowers, babe. I'm already on my
No, we were muted. We were muted.
Oh, you were.
Oh, okay.
All
Yeah.
right.
I was trying to check you.
Yeah. So we hear you.
show me something. Give me more than one
Mute. Yeah, Tracy was just experimenting with a mute. So we're good. Can we hear? Can you hear us?
Hold on, I'm gonna check hers.
I can't hear you though.
I'm sorry. Just hang in there. Why is he yelling at me? And this is in front of your face.
I know it's in front of my face.
I don't want it in front of your face.
But how does it look when you do the split screen with Jackie though?
It's in front of your face.
No, it changes. Put both of us up there. Let's see. See? Now you can barely see it. I'll put it here. I'll put it here. How
And
about
now
that?
I can't see your face.
How about that?
All right.
That's cool. I can
All
see
right.
Thank you.
All right.
it.
Come on in, y'all. Good morning. Good morning.
Where's the timer? Oh, okay. The timer's on one. Okay. Yeah, I see it.
You see it, baby?
Yeah. We're past 11, but the timer's got another minute, so that's fine.
One more time. How you like our song, Jackie?
I love it.
I love it.
It's very upbeat, kind of Afro-Caribbean,
Hey.
R&B vibes. Somebody, one of our listeners described it like one time. They were like, "Yo, who is singing like the Afro joint that y'all play at the beginning? I need that."
Yeah.
That's me.
Okay.
Can you see the comments, Jackie?
The
If I
comments.
put my glasses on.
Okay.
Like me. Good morning, Tamara.
Tamara Waters in the building. Good morning.
Oh,
Hit you with the sunshine. What's up, Tam? Yeah.
Good morning, everyone.
What's happening? What's happening?
What's happening? What's happening?
Welcome to Conversations with Heath and Tracy, where we are here live every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. EST to demystify your move to the DMV.
Oh,
and
yes.
since Queen Tracy and I are so transparent,
What?
you can ask us anything.
Anything?
You can ask us anything. That don't mean I'm going to have to answer it, though.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
But you can ask us anything. Well, today we have a special guest. Are we getting into that yet?
Not yet. If
Okay.
you have a question, type in all caps.
Don't
No.
type in all
I'm sorry.
caps.
I keep telling y'all to do that.
Don't type in
and,
all caps, y'all.
He does not want you to do
Oh,
that.
nobody want to hear you yelling on the worldwide interwebs.
Right. So,
You know?
okay. Just type your comments below.
Yeah, if you got a question, you got a comment.
Good morning. And
wanna
if
know.
you have a question, you can put it below.
What's going
So
on?
if you're thinking about moving to the DMV, we want to help.
That's why we're here every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. EST.
So we visited the Arboretum this week. It's a
Wait.
free- What?
It might be some people's first time.
Oh, go ahead. Well, we're not there yet. we're just not there yet.
All right, cool.
Okay.
We'll get where we gonna get to.
Okay then. See, we not vibing this morning, y'all. Just so y'all know, Heath and I. Sometimes we get up, we just we clicking. This morning is one of those mornings that you're gonna witness. We're not quite vibing.
Can y'all imagine when you've been married for 31 years that you're not
just hanging there
you're not
with us?
on the exact same page each and every day of your life? How is that possible?
I don't know. It just happens sometimes. I don't know what to tell you. So we did a few things this week. So remember, it's no buy July.
No buy July.
No buy.
We're not buying anything.
No, we're not buying anything.
It's July. No buy July.
No buy July. Because we've been buying for 18 months.
So is that a message that we're spreading to our community here that that's what we're doing? And please feel free to engage with us.
Join us. No buy July. Don't buy.
Cut the consumerism back a little bit this July.
It needs to be controlled.
July
y'all.
21.
It needs to be controlled. So we visited the National Arboretum this week.
We did.
It's free.
Yeah, free 99. We love it.
We love it. We love it. We are also talking about Baltimore today. We've gotten so many requests for Baltimore. We know nothing about Baltimore. We've been to Baltimore. But my best friend in the whole wide world lives in Baltimore. So she was kind enough to join us today. So we'll be introducing her later.
She was like, I'm going to come in. I'm going to talk to y'all.
She's like, okay, I'll do it, Tracy. I'll do it.
Be more crew in the building.
Okay. And just so you know, Maryland, Baltimore is one of the 2 best places to live. It was in the top 100. So this is just amazing. It's amazing.
You know, Tracy always bringing the knowledge for the people.
And then Design Your Life, we're talking about the dog days summer. So the dog days of summer are long, but guess what, y'all? These decades are getting very short. So we're going to talk about how to maximize and design your life.
A little mindset minute for y'all. It might be more like 5 minutes.
Yeah. We usually try to do it for a minute, but you know, Heath is very long.
It's all good. You have to excuse me. I suffer from chronic loquacious diarrhea or dysentery.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
So some people it might be their first time here, baby. You gonna go into that now?
No, it's your turn.
No.
Yes.
Well, if this is your first time here, folks, my name is Heath.
And I'm Tracy.
Tracy and I are parents, podcasters, and joyfully married after 31 years, as you can very easily see.
They can't see that.
That we have a complete blissful life, that we're on the same page each and every day
Not
of our
every
lives.
day. Today is the day. Y'all are witnessing the day. We are not on the same page.
We are joyfully married. So we're also authors and
you are an author. I have to do this every week.
We're tech workers. We are certified marriage counselors. We are parents of 4 adults. We've sent people through college, so you know we can help you in a lot of different areas.
So join us every Saturday at 11 a.m. as we talk about life in the DMV. And if you need help relocating, subscribe, y'all. Hit that subscribe button.
Hit the like button too.
Hit the like button. Let's see, where's the like button?
We got a like button. You got a like button on your computer, y'all.
Hit that like button, y'all.
I got one.
You got one. And if you're new here, he'd like you to put new you in the comments. That way we know you are new.
Yeah, put new you down in the comments. We want to chop it up with you after the show. We want to welcome you and just give you some thanks for engaging with us. So yeah, hit new you down in the comments.
And welcome to Conversations with Heath and Tracy.
Boom. Welcome back to Conversations with Heath and Tracy, where we are here every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. EST to demystify your move to the DMV and parts beyond, such as today, as we talk about Baltimore. With
What's
our
up, Jackie
lifelong
Mills
friend,
Rivera? What's
Jackie.
up, Jackie Mills Rivera? Woo,
Jackie's
welcome
here.
to the show. Yay.
Jackie.
Oh my gosh, y'all.
Happy to see you guys.
Just so you guys know, Jackie is my maid of honor.
Yeah, we've known her for a minute.
She's one of the few people that has known me longer than Heath has.
True statement.
Jackie
Yes.
has been through it with me.
That would be true. That is a true statement.
Did she know you before you were this perfect person that sits before us?
Oh, she did.
Oh,
She knew
yeah.
the imperfect nut job.
We could write our own book.
Yes, we
together.
could, girl. We could. Because
We really could.
the adventures at Howard University, living off North Capitol
God.
Street.
If the bug could talk.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
With
gosh,
the
yes.
orange bug.
Yes, that bug got us everywhere we needed to be.
And I'd be
Necessarily
under there.
on time.
Remember, I'd be under the engine. You'd be like, Tracy, what you doing to that car? Fixing it?
With a screwdriver.
Right.
With a screwdriver. that
She
kept
said with
in
the
her
screwdriver.
purse.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
That's all you needed with a bug
I
back
knew how
in
to
the day.
fix it. I had to keep the screwdriver in my purse, keep the car going. I don't know what to tell y'all. Those were the
Amen.
days. Those were
Those
it
were
got
the
us it got us
days.
where we need to go.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, yes,
So
yes.
Jackie,
Get
thank
into
you
it.
so much for joining us today. How long have you lived
Absolutely.
in Baltimore, girl?
Well, you know what? It's only been 12 years.
Oh, that's all.
Yeah, that's all. When I met my wonderful husband Antonio,
Okay.
he
Shout
was
out
already
Antonio.
living in Baltimore.
Okay.
Shout
Cool
out to
dude.
Antonio. Yes,
Cool dude.
my sweetheart.
Yes.
So he was living in a part of Baltimore called Mount Vernon.
Okay.
Okay.
And that's a wonderful section of town near Lexington Market. If you guys are not familiar with the famous and historical Lexington Market, we were living there. And let me back up because I have to say
Go
I
ahead.
had lived in DC for 30 years.
Right.
Oh
you
my
know,
gosh.
since
So
our-
she's
yeah.
perfect for this, guys, because she's lived in DC and she's living in Baltimore now.
Right.
There are about
Right,
609,000 people that live, and you live in Baltimore proper, right?
I do. I live right in the city.
Okay.
In West Baltimore,
Okay.
in a section of town called Ten Hills,
Okay.
right next to Edmondson Village. And when I met Tony, we were actually looking for housing when we decided we were going to get married.
Okay.
We were looking for a house in DC.
Of course.
And and so we're looking at, houses, townhouses. I was sharing a home at the time with a friend of mine in Hillcrest section of DC.
Maryland? Is that Maryland?
It's actually DC.
Oh,
Southeast.
okay.
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 Yeah, right
Yeah.
on.
I know where that is.
Yeah, right off of Texas Avenue.
Okay.
Really nice. But we had the expectation that we'd be building a family,
Sure.
and
Right.
started looking at homes and realized, you know what, it's a little bit expensive here.
A little bit.
So he said, well, you know what, honey, let's consider, settling in the home in Mount Vernon until we find the house that we want
Smart.
in Baltimore. Yeah.
Patience. Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely. And so, as God would have it, I think we both kind of settled into that idea. And then, man, I thought initially, I'm like, what am I thinking? Like, I've been living in DC for all this time.
Right.
And it's like, do I really want to move to Baltimore?
When people started asking us about Baltimore, we were like,
it's so much to talk about the DMV, but
I've been to the Bay
The
thing
Inner Harbor.
and the
The
Inner
Inner
Harbor,
Harbor,
but I don't know anything about Baltimore, and that's probably how you felt.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
That's exactly how I felt. And then
Inner
once
Harbor
I
and
moved
Oreos.
there, exactly. That's the extent.
That was the extent of it. The
experience.
airport and the Inner
Right.
Harbor. Yeah.
Exactly. But once I got there, it started to grow on me. When I realized that, living in the city,
Right.
you are in walking distance, bus ride away, light rail ride away, subway ride away from so many gyms,
Yeah.
so many different experiences, that I said, wow, this is a good choice.
Love that.
Beside the fact that the cost of living there compared to DC
Right.
is very low.
Yeah, let me show you
Right.
Yeah.
some.
Tracy's
let's
got-
see.
Tracy's
I
got a
got a
little
few slides
data.
for. So we've got overall, they can still hear you. they can still hear you, Jackie, so you can talk with us.
Okay.
So
Okay.
overall, you've got a grade of B, which I think is good. It's saying public
Mm-hmm.
schools are a C minus, housing is a C. I'm not sure I agree with housing. It's good
Yeah,
for
I wouldn't agree with
families.
that.
You
Yeah.
would or you wouldn't?
I would not agree with that at all.
Okay,
Housing?
okay.
No way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here's a map of Baltimore, guys. It's right on the
Okay.
water, which is so cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then you've got it's really like it's like DC. I don't know how to describe it. It is like DC. It's like Philadelphia. I think it's better than Philly though.
It's a lot like DC, except that, the opportunities in terms of the money that you spend to live there,
Yeah.
to experience the entertainment, the arts and entertainment, the museum life.
Right.
It's just
It's just
far and away more affordable for a family.
right. As you
Okay.
can see, we're showing housing prices, and we pulled these this morning. So you will not. Do y'all see these housing prices?
Say it loud for the people in the
You
back.
will not find these housing prices anywhere in DC. $49,000, 109, 425 for a 5-bedroom.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
285.
Now, what I will say is that what Baltimore is going through in terms of gentrification,
As you can see here with the apartments.
yes, that is a process it's starting to spread,
Okay.
and we're kind of in the same state that
Right.
DC was in, let's say, even 15 or 20 years ago.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep. That makes sense.
And as you find homes from your listings, for example, there was a unit that was listed at 49,000. I would advise that you be very careful, though, in terms of where you pick to live, especially the lower prices are sometimes indicative of the fact that there may be some some transition that particular section of neighborhood or that neighborhood around town is going through.
Sure.
Okay, well, let's keep it real then. How much, like we
Yeah.
tell them straight up in DC, you need to get ready to spend $1,800 to $2,500 for an apartment, and you need to get ready to spend around 1.5 or so for inside DC, and then outside of DC around 7 to 8. So what would you tell people that want to live in the good areas? Because our audience wants to live in the good areas. Our audience that's who they are. They're like us. So where, like, I know you live in a beautiful neighborhood, and it's just like, how do you feel about housing prices? I know they're lower compared to DC, but what would you say someone needs to spend on a house, and what would you say someone needs to spend on an apartment to live in a safe, vibrant area?
So I would say, for $150,000, $200,000, you can get a really nice house.
Are you
in
serious?
Baltimore. Yes, you can get a nice house in a decent neighborhood. If you went less than that, you're talking about a neighborhood that's in transition.
Right.
Okay.
Which
Right.
in and of itself is not a bad thing either.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
Because the expectation is that as development starts to happen, the property values increase.
Right.
Yeah.
So as we were looking for the house that we live in,
Yep.
we kind of had in mind, what we wanted, or at least I did. So,
Right.
Right.
so my husband was kind of letting me go.
Of course he did. Of course he
Kind of go
did.
along the path that I wanted. Yeah.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so, because of my background, I studied architecture, and so I kind of have this appreciation.
Yeah, you needed a
For,
certain kind of house.
And I like historic houses.
Right.
Okay. And so we set out looking for, Victorian homes, colonial style homes, and Baltimore has a lot of them.
Sure,
Okay.
sure.
A
plentiful.
lot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Love that.
we just happened upon a house that was listed before the renovation was complete. So you kind of had to take your squint at it to
Okay.
kind of appreciate, what the end result would be. But we stumbled upon this neighborhood right at the edge of the city limits called Tin Hills.
Okay.
The average house is probably 4, 5, 6, 7 bedroom historic homes.
Wow.
Yeah, and at that time, so we purchased this house back in 2010
Mm-hmm.
for like 432.
Which
Right.
was high at that time, but it gave you
It,
everything you wanted.
it gave me everything I wanted and then some. It was the
Right.
only house in Tin Hills that had five bathrooms,
Mm-hmm.
5 bedrooms,
Love it.
completely renovated.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're right off of the main street, right off of Edmondson Avenue.
Okay.
You're gonna run into major shopping in either
And you
direction.
have all the
Um,
services. You don't have to worry about, grocery stores and
right,
things like that. Right.
right. All of
Yeah.
the services are here. I put my kid in one of the local public schools here that was perfectly good.
So I'm
You
going to pop
know,
that up on here really quick. The public schools that they're saying are the top public schools are Polytechnic, of course, School for the
yes,
Arts,
yes,
City College, Roland
yes,
Park Elementary, and Fullerton Elementary.
right.
Are there any you would
And
add to that?
well, there are several charter schools also
Okay.
that I would that are really great schools. We're thinking about Bard College High School
I've heard
for
of
our
that one. Yeah.
youngest.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there are several locations, around the country. There's
And
one in
she's
DC.
brilliant, by the way, you guys. This little girl is amazing. She's a pilot, isn't she, Jackie?
She's training. Yeah.
She's training
Thank
to be a
you.
pilot.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's
Crazy.
Yeah.
12. Wow, what?
Crazy.
What?
I wanted to double click
She's
on.
just turned 13.
She
Oh
just
my
turned
gosh.
13.
Oh, we
Love
got to
that.
make sure
Thank
we got to
Love
make
that.
sure cuz she's a teenager
Oh,
now.
get the dates right now.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
they're showing some of the top neighborhoods is Wyman Park, Butchers Hill, Downtown West, Upper Fells Point, and Guilford. What do you think about that, and how do you feel about that?
I think those are all up and coming gems, like really nice places to consider. The downtown West, you'll find a lot of young people,
Okay.
seeking residence there. Same thing with Upper Fells Point because of the nightlife.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Pro
Guilford.
tips.
Yes, Guilford is a nice place. We also are in love with Hampton.
Okay.
Hampton would be kind of, I guess that would be north and west of where we are.
Okay.
Canton is a gem in the sense that it's right on the water.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a great kind of recreation.
Does it give you like Annapolis
space.
vibes?
It does.
Okay.
It really does.
That would be
Yeah,
beautiful.
because Canton Park is there. If you own a boat,
Oh,
a
okay.
small boat,
Yeah.
there are boat slips there
Okay.
that you don't have to pay for. And then another up and coming neighborhood to really consider as a great investment place is Park Heights.
Park Heights.
And yeah, that's the neighborhood where Pimlico Racetrack is.
Oh,
okay.
I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah, and because Pimlico is scheduled to be redeveloped, we can only imagine how much development is really going to happen in that neighborhood.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you're interested in some good investment property, that would be the up and coming place.
And you guys,
purchase.
Jackie is an architect, so she knows what she's talking
She know a
about.
little bit about the architecture game, the
She
construction
knows
game.
where things are heading to.
I want to
Heath had a
double click.
question.
I want to double click on that for a second, right? Because we've been talking about places to live and places for people to consider that are affordable, that are in different budgets, in different price ranges, and I think that we talked about a lot of really really good juicy stuff this morning. But one of the things I wanted to make sure that people don't miss is what Jackie was highlighting around the things that are less than $150,000, right?
I'm
And so-
flabbergasted right now.
And so
that's amazing.
From that perspective, when you talk about things from an investment perspective, and some of the folks who are listening and who will watch this on the replay have kind of an investment mindset.
They do.
And they're looking to create, to identify cash flow properties and maybe to assemble things from a real estate portfolio perspective. And I think what's so outstanding about what we've been talking about is doing that homework and catching these up and coming neighborhoods and at these phenomenal price points where You know that the point that Jackie was making is that you're catching them in transition, and you know the investment is going to be made. There's some gentrification happening. All these different things are in motion, and that's going to kind of raise the rising tide lifts all boats, as they say. So that's just a kind of a pro tip for those investors out there. So Baltimore is certainly a gold mine in that respect.
Jackie, let's go ahead and jump in and talk about crime. Because, that's what a lot of people have issues with when they hear Baltimore. And I think, and we tell our audience all the time, don't believe everything you see and read about these cities and towns that we talk about. Because what we have found is that the lighter persuasion, usually, they don't report their findings as much. Yeah. I mean, sometimes we go to look for and we can't find anything. We can't find anything for their neighborhood.
That's a good point, Tracy, and I'm glad that you opened it that way, because there's a reality about Baltimore, Sandtown, Winchester, which is the neighborhood that where Freddie Gray was born and raised, and everybody knows about the riots that happened at the time.
Sure.
And the real issue is that Baltimore needs a lot of love and care.
It does.
And it's a place where historically African Americans came to Baltimore because of Bethlehem Steel. So during the 50s and 60s, when there was a migration of African Americans from the South, Baltimore, among many other Midwestern and East Coast cities, was one of those places that people flocked to.
Yeah.
Sure.
And they were able to get good jobs at Bethlehem and other industries in the area. And they were, made great lives for themselves and their families. They were able to, put their kids through Morgan State, and, so there's this long history.
HBC.
Right.
That's what sometimes I stop at HU, but it's
HBCU.
HBCU.
Exactly. That's right. That's right. And so there's a long history for African Americans here, and success stories upon success stories that don't get talked about.
Right.
So how do you feel about the crime? Like, how do you feel about?
I'll say this. Among the most rewarding things that I do right now is I'm CEO of a nonprofit organization called Hope Housing. And our objective now we operated in DC for some time in developing low and moderate income housing for formerly homeless families.
Okay.
Nice. That is so good.
We've decided to move our mission to Baltimore.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And so we're finding that Baltimore, particularly in Sandtown, Winchester area, in Harlem Park, there are a lot of properties that were on the mayor's inventory of housing.
Yeah, we heard about
in
that.
Receivership. Yeah, in receivership because of the fact that, families lost. When Bethlehem Steel left, a lot of properties went into foreclosure.
Sure.
Not to mention the things that you see on television related to the, what was this show that was videotaped here?
The Wire.
About the Wire, right.
Yeah.
So Baltimore, unfortunately, has become like a test market for all kinds of illicit drugs, for drug cartels from around the world.
They start there, and then they figure out Philly and DC and New York.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so we're this is, Baltimore is typical in terms of the fallout from that kind of thing. But what I will say is that nonprofit groups like Hope Housing and other groups, there are hundreds of groups who are operating right now and organizing to try to turn the tide in terms of making affordable housing for families who just can't seem to get, a foot in, into this American dream.
Right.
But the reality of it is that there's a lot of work to do.
Right.
And so one of our missions is this year we're looking at trying to assemble properties in Sandtown, Winchester, and begin building units that will go up rather quickly, that will address concerns in terms of children who are aging out of foster care,
Yes.
homeless veterans who are single veterans and
That's a
disabled.
great charter. That's great.
Absolutely. Veterans who have families and are, unable to obtain affordable housing. So
Right.
there's a lot of stuff to do. There's a lot of work to be done.
Let's jump into some questions really quick. So Agent 007,
What's
hey,
up, 007?
welcome to the show.
Welcome back. Welcome
Just
back.
adding to the convo, what's the most stressful part about working and living in Baltimore?
Most stressful part.
The most stressful part is what gets reported on TV a lot in terms of the crime. Like that becomes a lot of the focus. And so unfortunately, if you tune into that,
Yeah, we were just talking about that.
Speak on it.
Yeah, it starts to work on your psyche. But then you go outside and you walk around Tin Hills
like,
and other neighborhoods.
what are they
and
talking
you
about?
realize-
Like,
right. It does happen. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
Right.
We do have our issues.
yeah.
But I think that there's enough synergy that can be created where people just have to realize that you got to make it happen. You have to get involved.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
And I think that the opportunity is here.
Let me double click into that just for a moment. I think that Tracy and I kind of stopped watching the local news.
We don't
probably
watch it.
Probably a decade ago.
Yeah.
And I think that one of the things that helped us with was just bringing stress level down. And, every now and then you're going to see a big headline and something happened and this murder or that thing, right? So, I mean, you want to understand what's happening in the community. But in general, to your point, when I've been in Baltimore on business outings and that kind of thing, I'm walking around just like I'm in the middle of D.C., just like anywhere else, right? There's restaurants and shops and people and just to and fro, and it's completely fine. Right now, you might see, a dude out here looks a little sketchy, but in terms of the masses of people and what's going on, it's just like any other city, right? There are certain things that come with being in a big city, but in general, the vibes that I felt in Baltimore were very similar to any other place I've been.
Yeah, Andre. Good morning, Andre. We've got another question. He's talking about moving from Atlanta to D.C.
What's going on, Dre?
Been
Welcome
researching
to the show.
Silver Spring, Tyson's Corner. What is the best for a 33-year-old professional? Both are really good right now. Wouldn't you say, Jackie? I'd say both are really good. Yeah.
I would agree. Yeah.
Tyson's is booming. It's in a boom phase. They're trying to move it from being so office kind of feeling to more residential. They've actually changed their name to just Tyson's. It's not Tyson's Corner anymore. You've got a lot of restaurants, a lot of nightlife over there. As we come out of the panorama, it's going to start to look different over there. A lot of things going vertical. One of my other friend's daughters just moved to Silver Spring, and she loves it. She does not have a car. She's around your age, and that's where people are moving. You're right on the edge of the city there. Wouldn't you say, Jackie?
Yeah.
I would agree. I would agree. Absolutely.
And
yeah,
then,
+1 on that.
And then in terms of affordability and proximity to the city, which with shopping and entertainment, I would say definitely say both. You're going to have a lot of services. There's literally everything in Tyson's, everything from Neiman's to Saks to, regular old Wendy's or whatever. They run the gamut. Same,
Shops,
not so much in Silver
mall.
Spring, but Silver Spring is so close to DC. You're going to be able to just go right down the road to Chevy Chase and places like that for the higher end things, and then you can go out. I mean, the cool thing about Silver Spring to me is like in the middle of the DMV. And that includes Baltimore. It's just like if you're on that side of DC, you can get to Virginia. You can get to the outer skirts of Maryland. You can get kind of anywhere. It's kind of in the center. So you can think about that.
+1.
And Greta says, good morning, Morgan State grad.
What's
here.
up, Greta?
Welcome to the
Welcome
show.
back. Welcome
good
back.
Good morning, Bucket 88. Russell,
Bucket,
thanks
what up?
so much for joining us again. And he says, good morning to you, Jackie.
Oh, my God.
Good morning,
Adam
Russell.
Shelton has a question.
What's
he
up,
says,
Adam?
The Inner Harbor there is fantastic. Do you know what are some new developments in that area?
Like stuff happening right in the harbor.
Yeah, the rumor around town is that the waterfront pavilions at the Inner Harbor are going to be redone. Like they're going to. I've heard that it was going to be demolished and rebuilt.
What? What? I love
Yeah, yeah.
that. I
Well,
love
you
that
know,
area. I
it's
mean,
interesting.
it's so vibrant. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Why? What are they going to put there?
Well, I think it's going to be more of the same. Like the whole shopping thing
Okay.
will
Uh-huh.
continue.
Okay.
The retail, restaurant,
Mm-hmm.
entertainment will continue. It's
Yep.
just that was built by Rouse. Shoot,
Oh,
back
Rouse.
in the
Years.
back in the yeah, like in the
Years.
'70s. So
Yeah.
yeah, it could stand an upgrade.
That's so I'm glad that Jackie said that, right? Because that you've seen what has happened in certain places in DC, especially on the water, right? When you look at what they
Yes,
did with the
yes,
casinos and all of the
that's
things
right.
over there, and so you
That's
have
right.
these models that they know have worked, and so developers like anybody else, right? They're copycats, and they say if this worked over here, then it'll
Just let's
definitely work over
upgrade
there.
it.
Yeah.
Let's upgrade
Well,
it.
and not only that, they have to stay in the game. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Because
Mm-hmm.
Baltimore was kind of like the local getaway for people in the DMV area,
Yeah.
Right.
and
Right.
now that you have that same kind of vibe happening in Old Town Alexandria,
Yep.
And the
the
wharf and the
MGM,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
We have
exactly.
like
So
four
you
of
know,
them.
right,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So Baltimore has to catch up,
Makes sense.
and
Yeah. I didn't think about
yeah,
that. That's a good
yeah,
point. We used to go up
yeah,
there to get all
We
that
did.
vibe and everything,
Yeah.
and now we don't
exactly.
have to.
Yep.
Oh my
That's
gosh, I didn't
right.
even think about it. Let's jump
Great call.
Yeah.
into
Great
the
call out,
salaries
Jackie.
that people make in Baltimore. What I'm finding is the median household income, guys, is about 50,379. Under Armour is located there. But if we look at the most recent statistics, as you can see, once again, that we say all the time about living in the DMV, most people are going to make at least six figures. So in the Baltimore area, you have the highest income around $100,000 to $150,000.
And
Let's
that's
see.
mostly medical.
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
Johns
the medical.
Hopkins is
Yeah,
there. Right.
yeah,
The overall
right.
cost of living, guys, is going to be lower than Maryland, significantly lower than the rest of Maryland and the United States, as you can see
Look
on
at that.
here.
Look at that.
Look at these numbers. Now, it looks like
Opportunity.
utilities are a little bit higher and transportation is higher, Jackie. Would you say transportation is higher because people commute further?
Absolutely. That's exactly right. So, about I would say about 7 or 8 years ago, there was another mass exodus of young people from PG County that
Oh,
moved
that
from
makes
PG County to
sense.
Baltimore, right?
Okay.
Because they were able, in a high figure salary, let's say if they made 70 or 80, $90,000, they could come to Baltimore and get a
They could
house,
buy
Sure,
a
sure.
house, whereas they
buy
can't
a
do that in PG
house,
County
and
anymore.
you can't exactly. And
Right.
so they were willing to make that commute. Like they would get on the MARC train and run back and forth to DC like it was nothing.
Yeah,
Right.
the commutes
Right.
we're showing are a little bit higher. You've got 30 to 34, and I think that's because of the train. Wouldn't you say it makes it a little bit
I would
better?
say
And then
yes.
45 to 59 for those that are staying in the cars. Now, do you commute, Jackie?
I do actually. I do actually because I
Where
hate
do
the
you commute to,
traffic.
Jackie?
So I actually take the MARC train
Okay.
a few times a week from Baltimore to Union Station, DC.
So you
And then I
commute to
have to-
DC.
I do, and then I have the subway to get to the office.
So guys,
Yeah.
it's so
So-
normal. This is so normal in this area. We were
Right.
telling you how people live in Fredericksburg, Virginia, how
Frederick,
people
Maryland.
Frederick, Maryland. People live
Baltimore.
or some people live in Philly and work in DC.
Delaware.
So let me speak on that, Tracy. That
Okay.
whole concept of people from Philadelphia coming. There's this a move now with John Hopkins and some of the other medical developers, is what I'm going to call them, because they're steady buying up all kinds of property
Oh.
here in Baltimore. John Hopkins is expanding exponentially. University of Maryland, medical systems.
Yep.
Mercy Hospital.
Okay.
So they're buying up properties around the current John Hopkins campus. And I think that the idea in the long run is that the housing growth has to happen to keep pace with that.
Right.
Because their expectation is that because there is no other industry here, so to speak, that, major industry, medicine then becomes the major industry.
That's
Sure.
right,
And
which
you
is
ha-
high paying
and you ha-
jobs.
Exactly. And you have this phenomena where you'll have physicians who come to work at the hospitals here in Baltimore, they'll have a second home here in Baltimore, and they'll commute back to Philly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Pro tips.
The idea, I think that the minds that are, the think tank in terms of developers here is that they will be creating Baltimore as a housing mecca that will serve the DMV and particularly those who are in medicine.
That's brilliant. That is brilliant because
Amazing.
there's so much housing there, and we actually have a housing shortage here in the DMV. So it's,
Wow.
I think
so
it's.
Greta said that she used to commute from Baltimore to the Pentagon. Yeah, I mean, wow, that was a heck of a commute.
Yeah.
And
a
it's
lot
the
of
norm.
people did it.
It's the
Right.
norm. It's such the norm.
Yeah.
And we get that question very frequently, right? In terms of when people are inquiring about Baltimore, is like, what are the best places, right? Should Ellicott City, Columbia, other places around Baltimore to commute into the DMV?
I think
so. Just any kind of high level opinion about that, Jackie?
So that's a
Well,
great.
I-
Let me roll into best places to live in Maryland. That really came up, guys. And this week they released a lot of the best places to live.
Okay.
And Salisbury, which is the Eastern Shore, right, Jackie, is now listed as the 95th best place to live in the United States.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
saying they based it on affordability, job prospects, desirability. This year, researchers are also looking at the top communities fared through the pandemic and how much work
Okay.
is needed to recover. So on a scale of 10 points, they got a 6.4. And they said the
Okay.
job market is a 5.9, the value is a 6.1, so that value is good. The quality of life is a 6.8.
Yeah.
Desirability is a 5.4, and the net migration, y'all, is an 8.3.
People going out to Salisbury.
Wow.
Yeah, and they said
Wow.
while Salisbury continues to grow as a hub, Maryland, Delaware population. So I guess it's going toward Delaware. It's never lost that small town feel.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's still predominantly rural. And there's a Salisbury University there. There's a National Folk Festival. And it's a 15-minute drive to the heart of downtown, right? Of is it Wicomico County? Wicomico County.
Wacomico.
Well,
Wacomico.
thank you. I butchered the heck out of that one, y'all. There's a
Wacomico.
minor league baseball team. So it's kind of a slow, it's kind of a slow kind of melting pot of college students, retirees and families.
Sounds like
And
RTP North Carolina.
yeah, it sounds like RTP, y'all. I'm not sure about that one. But
But it's close to the water though.
yeah, it's close to the water, right? and then Baltimore also is in the top 100 this year, guys, for best places to live. It received a 6.3 scale. Job market 7.7. Value, which Jackie talked about, 6.7. Quality of life 5.8. Desirability 5.4. Net migration 5.7. And the same thing Jackie said, Baltimore's elegant architecture, friendly people, and lively pockets of nightlife and music make Charm City a pleasant and fun place to call home.
It's like Jackie knows what you were talking about.
Yeah, they've got famous crab cakes. Surprise! Right? Baltimore is home to a variety of communities concentrated in the city's neighborhoods. Several dozen are which designated as historic districts. So if you're looking for a historic home, sounds like Baltimore is definitely the place.
Nice.
Walking through these distinct areas provides a glimpse into the city's worldly population. I
Yep.
did want to talk about that. Little Italy, located near Inner Harbor, Greek town, right? And they have a lot of heritage in their eateries and shops there.
Nice.
So that's
true.
really, really good to hear. So what do you want to say about that, the heritages and the different people that live in Baltimore?
That struck me when I came here, that there are pockets of different cultures around the city. Like my husband, as we drove around the city, he's like, yeah, this is Greek town. This is Little Italy, and it's real, but the magic about all of that is that even though people who are of a different ethnicity, tend to live and migrate in certain areas, the town in and of itself still has this unity about it, this overall pride, and you don't feel like you're out of place or that you don't belong if you go to eat over in Greek town, or if you go to dinner in Little Italy.
I love the way you said that, because when I go to New York, I feel out of place. when I go to those places in New York, I feel like, what are you doing here in our area? And maybe that's changed in the last few years, but in New York, those little neighborhoods aren't as welcoming.
Right, right. There are sections of town where Hasidic Jews are make up, most of the residency in a particular area. And like my husband is a plumber, and
Okay.
he had me kind of laughing this morning talking about a family that was a Jewish family, and he said, they had like 7 kids. All of them were like very close in age. The oldest starting at 17, and the youngest was like 3.
Oh, wow.
And and so he's like, they sound like people from Baltimore. And I'm like, well, honey, I don't know what you were expecting them to sound like. He's like, but she was just like, oh. So I think I say that to say that again, I can't stress more that, when you're in a particular area, it just feels like home.
Yeah.
That's so good to hear. Now, some of our people have asked about the religion in that area too. So we found this little note. It looks pretty well mixed. Of course, most people are. It looks like it's It's really spread out in Baltimore. I don't know if you can see this, Jackie. You've got Catholic, Lutheran, Pentecostal, Church of Jesus Christ, Judaism, Eastern faith, and just a little bit of Islam mixed in there. So there's a lot of that. And as far as
historically, Baltimore is kind of a how do I say this? The home base for the Catholic Church headquarters is here.
Oh, okay.
So, and I may not be saying that correctly, but the oldest Catholic church, and it's one of the Immaculate Conception.
The cathedral
churches.
kind of things. Yeah.
Cathedral, yes, is located right here in Baltimore.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Yeah, so.
And then the other thing is their politics.
A little on the left side.
Just a little on the left here,
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, don't mess with them. And guys, if you're enjoying anything you see here, hit that like button. That helps the algorithm find us and helps anyone else that's looking for what we're talking about today. Baltimore.
It's all good.
Froze up for a second, guys. Hang in there.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
So, all right. So we're going to move on to D.C. also being the coming up in that best places to live. D.C. Got through the pandemic. I would say out of this area, D.C. was probably hit the hardest. Wouldn't you say that, Jackie? I would say
in terms of the panorama.
It literally shut down between the panorama and the insurrection and everything going on within D.C. proper. It just really became a ghost town. I didn't recognize it.
Yep.
I didn't recognize. They sent everybody home. Nobody was working downtown. Nobody was walking downtown. It was literally shut down. So I'd say the fact that they ended up in the top 100, or actually top 50, they're number 28. They moved up. This year tells you that they think about it is that they're recovering very well. And let me tell you, it's looking about like Florida when I go to DC now. It's like, okay, they're wearing their masks, but it looks like pre-panorama levels. So I think the DC job market is, most of us live and work in DC. And the job market has really, really helped keep it afloat. It says the government positions and office positions were easier to transfer from work from home roles when the thing hit, and it really helped Washington from seeing unemployment levels reach the other places, other major cities reached throughout 2020 as well. All right, Ron, coming through with the $20 super chat.
Hey,
what's
my
up,
man Ron.
Woo! Thank you, Ron.
My man Ron, shout out.
He's got a question for
I like the
us.
brim. I like the brim too, Ron.
I love the brim.
Yeah.
So Randall's question is
Ron's question.
I'm sorry. Ron's question is, good morning. Is Randallstown a nice area to live?
Do you know anything about Randallstown, Jackie?
Tell us a little bit about Randallstown.
I know a little bit about Randallstown. It is a suburb of Baltimore City.
Okay.
And it would be west, kind of north and west of where I am.
Okay.
It's sort of it's outside the Beltway. Baltimore's Beltway is 695.
695. Okay.
Yeah. So they have great schools. It is in close enough proximity that if you worked in downtown Baltimore City. It's just a short ride, either by going around the Beltway or taking Route 40 or one of the major streets or Liberty Roads into the area.
What
Okay.
about housing? How's housing there?
Housing is great. I mean, the housing stock in Randallstown is a bit newer,
Okay.
so to speak, than
Yeah,
you're
new
not,
construction. Yeah.
right. You're not necessarily going to find historic housing in Randallstown. It's a
Okay.
more
Suburban
more
vibe.
suburban vibe.
Is it that
Exactly.
new
That's the word I was
suburban
looking
vibe with
for.
the big boxes and things like that? Is that what it feels like there?
It's a mix of that,
Okay.
actually. A mix of, let's say, 70s Ramblers all the way up through, 4, 5, and 6 bedroom new construction. So you've got a good mix there and really good school system. That's
So
part of Baltimore County.
Okay. Okay.
Got
All
it.
right.
Yeah.
Got it.
That's good. Thank you
Good
so
stuff.
much.
Good stuff,
And then
Jackie.
Greta, I forgot about Greta's question, guys. What about Towson, Maryland? So how do you, I mean, I know Towson State's there. I've only been there maybe a couple times, but I don't know much about Towson. What do you know about Towson?
Towson, the cost of housing starts to get a little higher if you compared it to Randallstown, for instance.
Okay.
So you're going further north away from the city, the cost of housing starts to increase exponentially.
Really?
Yeah. But there are some, if you're looking for apartment living, there are some pretty decent affordable apartments to purchase.
Okay.
But if you're looking for a house, a home, detached, the prices really start to get higher.
Is it less family oriented or more family?
Very formally oriented.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a great place to raise a family. Not quite as diverse as living in Randallstown or closer in to the city.
Oh, really? So when you say that, what is it
yeah.
mostly comprised of?
I would say that it's the university being located there helps its diversity.
Sure.
But I would consider it to be predominantly white. And then
Oh, really?
In Towson.
Yeah. But it's a very nice area.
Yep.
It is. Okay. Thanks for that question, Greta.
I remember when Howard had that awesome football team back in the day when we were there. That was one of the few games that we lost was to Towson State.
Yep. Towson State.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's like
They're
burned.
still great.
It's burned in my brain. I was like, oh man, we lost to Towson. We were trying to get to the playoffs.
So we're loving Jackie visiting us, y'all. Give Jackie a big yes, Jackie. Thank you for visiting us. So we're going to jump into some other things a little bit. Let's talk about Virginia being the best place for business.
Okay.
For the 5th time.
Okay, Virginia.
Are we surprised by that?
Hey, Northern Virginia is like boom town, right? So just in terms of all of the stuff that's happening, right? The government-centric pieces, the private business, what's all the things that are happening around Tyson's and throughout Northern Virginia with the startup community, government-centric, tech-centric.
Yeah.
I mean, it is happening.
Yeah, and I think when you look at the Amazon effect, which I don't think other people really see
just scratching
yet,
the surface there.
They're literally scratching the surface right now. And Amazon is a big community type of company. A lot of people want to say what they want to say about Amazon, but they are about this community. They just bought an older building called Crystal House, and they've converted it to affordable housing, and then they bought the property next door and gave it to the county, Arlington County, and said, make sure you put more affordable housing here. So they're going to be responsible directly for a little over 500 affordable housing units right in that little few blocks.
Yeah, that's dope.
So that is really amazing. And I just think the whole support system in Northern Virginia is really what's propping up all of Virginia. And then you got to understand what's going down in Richmond too. Yeah. They're doing a lot of changes down there. They're taking down all those crazy looking statues. They're really, really trying to bring things to the forefront of what's going on in our country and how it needs to translate within this state. So and then the thing about it, guys, is when something happens in Maryland, DC, or Virginia, it affects the entire area.
Absolutely.
So when we say Yeah, so when we say Virginia is best place to be, one of the best places, well, the best place to do business in the country this year, we're saying the DMV,
Right?
Because that's how we act here. We're not like other states in the union where we act separate from each other.
Yeah.
We work together transportation wise, job wise.
Yeah.
Like when they went for the Amazon Q2, all of them got together and said, we need to make sure it comes here.
Right.
And so it just almost didn't matter where it landed. It was a matter of it landing here. And I think that's the power of this area. We talk about that so much.
Yeah.
I don't feel like, are you frozen, Jackie? I don't feel like,
She's just
okay.
looking, she's reading.
Okay. Yeah. I don't feel like if you live in Maryland, you're separate from
Right.
what's going on
It's
in Virginia
a true,
and vice
it's a
versa.
true
It's a
tri-state
tri-state community.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when we say that, it's really across the board. Like this next article, Arlington, the fittest city. I feel like all the cities around here are kind of fit. They all have.
Are you gonna put it up on the?
Oh yeah, let me put it up. It's like I think all the cities have.
Oh wait.
Oh.
Pause. My man Russell just came through with the super chat.
Okay, Russell with the super chat. Thank you, Russell. Woo! Thank you so much. Russell is one of our regulars, y'all.
And Russell is also a veteran.
Oh wow!
So
Thank
we
you for your
appreciate-
service. And once
we appreciate
again,
Russell.
yes,
Absolutely.
thank
No
you.
doubt.
Russell.
But
Shout out to Russell.
yeah, just keep that in mind, guys. When we talk about the area, when we talk about these different areas, we're talking about the whole thing. And the next thing I was going to say was Arlington being one of America's fittest city. Again, this is so true.
Yeah.
We see bikers all the time, runners, all kind of activity. Our parks are full every evening, like Monday through Sunday. The parks every evening after work are full of people working out, playing games. Doing. It's just so normal around here. It's so normal around here. Wouldn't you say the same thing in your area too, Jackie?
People
I
doing
would
all this
say,
stuff.
too, Baltimore is really trying to keep pace with DC and other areas south of here in terms of they've added bike lanes. There are parks that have all kind of fitness apparatus that they've put in place for people to do their own routine, exercise routines. So yeah, when you go down to the harbor, you see a lot of people running. You see a lot of people on these what do you call it? These little motorized scooters. So, people are scooting around, running around and biking all around Baltimore.
Definitely.
That's dope.
Yeah. So,
Salute, Russ.
salute. Thank you, Russ. Salute. So that brings us to the end of talking about Baltimore, guys. We're going to move into Design Your Life. And you know what we do here in this part of the show. Let me see if I can find the right music.
Tracy trying to hijack my little transition jacket.
Uh-oh.
This is the part of the show when we transition, and we're diving into the mindset. So we're going to keep it dry because we don't want to get too wet.
Oh, my God.
Okay.
So today is about being in gratitude,
Kids out of the room.
so that you have a positive attitude, because as we all know, the days are long, but the decades are short.
Get ready for a Design Your Life, y'all. So today on Design Your Life, we're talking about these days are long. It's like I get up but then I look up and it's August. It's like, y'all, what happened? What happened to the past year?
Where did the decade go?
So we're going to run through these really quickly.
My kids were small and now they're adults.
And we'll put the link to the article in our comments. We're going to run through these really quickly. But we ran through this list and we were like, oh my gosh, people need to know this.
Yep.
So go. Ready, set, go.
Never put your family, friends, or significant others low on your priority list.
Life is not a dress rehearsal. This is probably it.
Make it count. How to succeed. You want to pick the thing. You want to pick the right thing. Do what you love. Do what you do well. Do that.
And then on work, it's difficult to do a great job on work if you don't care about it.
So you might want to find.
You might want to find what you want to do on money.
On money, whether or not money can buy happiness, it can buy freedom.
And that's a big deal. So get your coins.
Get your coins up, y'all.
Talk to more people, guys. We've talked about this before. Read more long content and less tweets.
Yeah.
Watch less TV and spend less time on the internet.
Unless you're watching Heath and Tracy.
Here we go.
Don't waste time.
Please don't waste my time. Don't let yourself get pushed around. This has got to stop.
Stand up for yourself. Have clear goals. Every day. Every year.
Every day. Every day. Every year. Every decade. I tell my kids this all the time.
Got to have goals. How about
valuable. Planning is valuable.
Yeah.
You must plan. That's why we have this show. We have this show that you can plan your move to move into this area.
Yeah. Go out of your way to be around smart, interesting, ambitious people.
Okay,
right?
let's push the non-smart, ambitious people to the side. They have their own. They have each other.
What's the saying goes, if you show me your 5 best friends, I'll show you how much money you're going to make.
Okay. Summers are the best. I'm sorry. I'm a summer girl.
Summer. Don't worry so much about stuff.
Ask for what you want.
If you think you're going to regret something, don't do it.
Please don't do it. If you think you're going to regret it, stop.
Exercise, eat well, sleep. Get into nature with some regularity.
Ground. Put your feet on the ground. Take your shoes off. Walk
Breathe
through a park.
deeply in.
Go out of your way to help other people.
That's right.
It's so satisfying. It's so
better
satisfying.
to give than receive. That's what Jackie was talking about with her foundation, right?
It's great, and I want to talk to you more about that, Jackie.
Youth is a really great thing.
Don't waste it, please. Don't waste it. Mine's a blur, y'all. My youth is a blur.
The saying goes that youth is wasted on the young.
Tell your parents if they're still here on this earth plane, you love them more often.
That's right.
Go home and visit them, please.
And whatever's
go see them, talk to them. When they call you, answer the phone.
Yes. And whatever happens in your life, this too shall pass.
This
so if
is
it's bad,
This is my mother's mantra.
It's gonna be fine.
Learn voraciously.
That's Queen Tracy right there.
Yeah,
Tracy
that's me.
Is like the voracious reader, the voracious learner.
Always be learning.
I tell people that she's a frustrated lawyer, but
we know this. We know this because I will argue with you. Okay.
We told you about law school a long time ago.
I know. Do new things often. I love this one. This is the thing I've been trying to do lately.
Yeah. Try it out.
It's really important.
That's
it's
how you
really
know.
important.
That's how you know. Remember how intensely you loved when you were a teenager. Love them intensely like that now.
Ooh.
Remember how excited you got about stuff when you was a kid. Get excited like that now.
Okay. I love that.
Right, what's the saying? Dance like nobody's watching.
Yep. Don't screw people. Don't burn bridges.
Oh, man.
Pick your battles.
Pick your battles carefully. Can't fight about everything.
No.
Forgive, folk. Forgive.
Please forgive people.
When you're holding on to stuff, it's just gonna hurt you.
Please forgive.
Let it go.
It's gonna get you to a new place.
Keep it moving.
Don't chase status.
The Joneses broke too.
They broke too. Status without substance doesn't work. It's unfulfilling, y'all. Once you get it, so what? So what?
Most things are okay in moderation, y'all. If you want a little ice cream tonight, it's okay. Just don't eat the whole box.
Don't eat the whole thing. Let's see. Be grateful and keep problems in perspective. Don't complain about them.
Yep.
Don't hate other people's success.
Yes. Celebrate it.
This one's my favorite.
Be a doer, not a talker. At Amazon, we call it bias for action.
Okay.
Yeah. Be a doer.
Given enough time, it's possible to adjust to almost anything. Believe it or not, we're really good at this, y'all.
Yeah.
We've been here for a minute. We're really good at this.
Look at what we did over the last 15 months.
Exactly.
Yeah. Take a few seconds before you act. Think a few minutes if you're angry. Right. That's a good pro tip for business. Right. Before you hit that email, when you're pissed off, before you hit send on the email, just pause
and stop hitting reply all.
Let it marinate.
Stop hitting reply all. They need to remove that button.
No email storms, please.
Oh my God. And see, we work in large companies. And when there's an email storm, I literally just leave my desk. I just leave. It's like, who did this? And then people keep yelling at the person. It's just like, y'all making it worse. Don't judge other people too quickly. You never know their story and why they did or didn't do something. Be empathetic.
Definitely lead with empathy and pull that down back. Pull that back down, baby. From a spiritual perspective, they say you were judged 2,000 years ago anyway. So
Okay.
everybody's already been judged.
And last but not
That's
least,
true.
the days are long, but the decades are short.
Hey, wake up every day in gratitude, y'all.
And we got another super chat. Super chat.
Oh, my man Adam. Woo! My man Adam. BCC.
Super chat. Great show today. Well, I want to give thank you, Adam. Thank you.
Appreciate
We
you,
love
Adam.
you for that.
Shout out.
Thank you
Shout
so much, y'all.
Shout out to the HBCUs. Shout out to the community today. We appreciate y'all. Oh, my man Krupp. We're gonna go through the back through the comments.
Yeah,
and put up.
that was it. That was the last
My man
one.
Krupp, what's good, man?
Hey, Krupp, what's up?
North Carolina in the
We want to
building.
thank everybody for joining today and just listening.
Oh wait,
to
we got a bonus. We got a bonus section.
What is it? What is it?
I got to show my flowers.
Oh, we forgot. Okay, so Jackie's been to my house. She knows our garden. My husband does this every Saturday morning. Everyone's so used to it. This is what
So,
he
Jack,
picked this morning.
This is from this morning. I went out into the yard and cut
Sweet.
all of these this morning, right? So I leave them here on the desk for the queen all week, but I also make
how
sure that I
sweet.
do a weekly cut for our audience. So
Nice.
one of the things I want to highlight today
Oh my
is
God.
this one right here that I learned about. Let me see where is it? This one right here. This one looks like hydrangea, but it's not. It's called something else. I just learned about it this morning, but it's growing in my garden. So I was
Agent 007 says,
beautiful.
"Thank you, Jackie. You taught me a lot of new things about Baltimore."
like, "Yay, Jackie!"
Heath and Tracy,
Oh,
as always,
so
great
very
show.
Yes, absolutely. You are
But
so
anyway.
welcome. I'm so glad to be here.
Yeah, but anyway, it's like it's another perennial. So I just wanted to shout that
So
out.
y'all show some love for
And
Jackie.
it's very aromatic, right? We got some.
Oh, it
Thank
smells
you,
so
guys.
good.
We got some. What we got here? We got some lavender in here. We
Yep.
got some mint in here. We got some
I told him don't be
hydrangea.
picking all my flowers at the
Nice.
yard, but
We
these
got
look
some
really
little like sunflower
That looks-
family.
That's echinacea.
Echinacea, is that what it is?
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah, yeah. We got a lot of stuff in the garden. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
You can come get whatever you want when you want.
Yeah, you
Jackie.
can break you off some, Jackie.
You
It's all
know
good.
what? I started to steal the bouquet that you had sitting on the table for 4th of July. It was so beautiful.
You
That's
could have
all right.
taken that. You didn't. You ain't
Yeah.
stealing nothing,
Next
girl.
time you come, I'll make you a custom one.
You aren't stealing
That is so
anything.
nice.
Greta says, "Thank
I
you,
love
Jackie."
You're so welcome, Greta. Thank you for having me. This is awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, and I just want to say real quick.
Go ahead. Whatever you want to say, Jackie. Whatever you want to add. This is your time.
Well, thank you. I mean, I'm kind of tooting Baltimore's horn, really.
Okay.
That's what we want.
So, yeah. So Baltimore has a lot of Department of Housing and Community Development here has a lot of incentives to try to get people to move to the city. So depending on your income,
Yep.
they take care of closing costs.
Okay.
What?
Pro
Yeah.
tips.
So, yep. So, yeah, there's some stuff going on. You got to
Yeah.
get on these websites and take a look at, I think it was $5,000 towards closing costs.
Okay.
Wow, that's a lot.
Pro
That's gonna
tips.
cover
Yeah.
some things. And Tamara said, "Thank you, Jackie, for the info. This hour flew by."
Boom.
It did. It,
It
really did. And you were
did.
so welcome, Tamara.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Well, guys, thank you
Yeah.
for joining today. Thank you, my love. We're gonna have to get together. I know we
you're
live a little
welcome.
further apart, but we're gonna have to get together
Yes.
more often. I love you, and thank you so
You
much
are so
for
welcome.
joining us today.
Beautiful love
Yes,
to Jackie.
indeed. Thank
Just give it up. I'm not your girl.
Wait.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, say it again,
Help
Jackie.
Housing and Help
Hold on.
Housing
I want to get you on the
MD.org.
screen. Hang
Okay,
on.
hang
I
on.
want you to do that.
Pause.
There we go.
Bring the
All right,
music
one
back
more
down.
thing, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Go.
Check out our website. Our website is hopehousingmd.org.
Oh, I wish you'd given that to
Hope-
me. I'll
Hope
put it in the. I'll
Housing.
put it in the.
HopeHousingMD.org.
Text it to me, babe. I'll put it in the
Yes.
And
comments.
we'll add
I
it to the
will.
we'll add it to the
Absolutely.
show notes. So anybody wants to support Jackie or see what's going on, get you some insight into what's happening from a construction perspective, real estate perspective, nonprofit, doing good in the neighborhood. You can reach out to Jackie. So we'll make sure that we put that in the show notes for you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We
Absolutely.
love you. Mwah.
Love you
All
guys.
right.
Take
Shout out to
care.
the community. We
And
appreciate y'all.
remember,
And remember, wherever you're going,
Don't just live there.
Don't just live there.
Design your life there. All right, guys.
That's all we closing.
Yeah, we close it. That's how we close it out.
That's all right, because we just went vibing today. We went vibing today, but it's still cool though, right?
It's still cool. We love you, Jackie.
It's better than cool. I love you guys too. Thanks for having me, man.
All right,
this was really great.
All right, we'll do it again, Jackie.
Yeah,
no doubt.
Y'all take care.
You too, love.
All right.
All right. Have a good day.
Boom, boom, boom. Go, go, go.
We're going to add you in. Hold on.
We're going to add who in? Oh, we're going to add Jackie in so she can dance?
Come on, dance.
Hey, go, go, go. Howard, you know. Go, go. It's Saturday. What you say? What you say now? What you do now? How you flow now? Go now.
Don't get me wrong.
I like that artwork behind Jackie too.
I do too.
You like my artwork?
Yeah, it looks good.
Thank you. This guy right here. Oh, wait a minute. I wanted to see this piece.
Oh wow. What's going on with that?
Did you do that?
No, this guy's a local Baltimore artist.
Oh my
look at
God,
that.
it's beautiful.
Oh, that's community vibes right there.
Yeah, that's Ernie Shaw. That's
Okay.
Oh, okay.
a typical 70s scene where they bust open the
Yep.
fire hydrant. in hot
Love
summer.
that.
Love it.
Yeah.
Summers in Baltimore.
Ernie Shaw. We'll have to remember that.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, people don't get to know how much culture there is. Arts and culture is really big here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah, and people who are looking to move to the area in general love that kind of stuff, right? It's like, people's cognitive consciousness is continuing to elevate, and so I think it's the era of the creative. And so
That's
I think
right.
that people are just opening up more and more to those things and really appreciating it in a different way.
That's right. Yeah. There's a place off of Howard Street called Graffiti Alley where graffiti artists are allowed to just make creations.
Really?
Yeah, all over these. It's a long alley, kind of L shape.
Yeah.
And you can bring your spray paint and just create.
Love that.
Wow.
And Ernie Shaw has a studio right down there off of that alley. And I think I posted on Facebook a couple of years ago when Toni Morrison passed away. He did this huge mural of Toni Morrison in Graffiti Alley. That was pretty cool.
Love that. Yeah, I mean that's a great example that we're talking about, right? It's like back in the day it was taboo, the graffiti artists tagging trains and tagging bridges and those things still happen, but now that you have these creative spaces where people can do and be and express themselves, and they can also turn it into income and affiliate marketing opportunities and all kinds of cool things.
Yeah,
love
now
that.
all of the videographers and production artists go down to the alleys to use that as a backdrop for some of their productions. A lot of productions happen down there.
There's one
Bye,
like
y'all.
there's one like that in Atlanta too, on the Beltline underneath the bridge.
Hang in there,
Same
Jackie.
kind of thing.
Hold